Gah. Jen Cole.
Name Powers.
We just published episode 100 of the Making a Marketer podcast.
That's bananas. That's bananas. Like, isn't it wild to think back how the whole thing started? It's just so like, hey, do you maybe wanna? And then me being like, okay. And then now we're here.
I know. 100's a lot. Like, it's funny because I think about other podcasters and they are like in the thousands, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, we did 2 a month basically for 5 years, almost 5, well, 4.5 years. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
I welcome to whomever just joined us. I want to, let's share this out.
Yeah.
We will share who our episode 100 guest is shortly.
So excited.
Let me see. Marissa.
We love you.
Okay. So we have one viewer. Please chat to us so we know who you are. And then I would love to, we're going to pop a bottle or two here in a minute. But yeah, so I just published, and it's up on Spotify and it's up on our podcast page, but it wasn't yet on Apple Podcasts, but they've been kind of difficult lately.
Yeah, that's really frustrating.
Yeah. All right, so if you don't know, Jen Cole and I have been rolling this podcast since August of 2017. The first 2 seasons, we had our friend Elizabeth Glau was also our co-host, and unfortunately we lost her last year. So we will toast to her tonight. We're going to wait a little bit, but for sure we it's just funny. I gotta close Teams. I'm not used to all the Microsoft products, y'all. There's a lot of sounds and up things popping up and all that kind of good stuff. So Jen and I took a walk down memory lane in the beginning of the show, maybe for a little bit longer than we should have. But 100's a lot. Hi, Kristen. Welcome. Thanks for joining the party.
Yay.
Thank you
Chris.
so much. Yeah, and our guest for 100, we tried to be our guest for 75, but I'm actually really happy that it worked out the way that it did. And we've been keeping it under wraps since January 14th.
It's been a really hard secret to keep. I have to admit that. Like, really hard secret to keep.
Well, I spoke to somebody today who he's a content guy at my new job, and I said, well, hopefully you've heard of her, and he hadn't. And then I said a book that she wrote, and he thought, oh, I think I might have heard of that. So I said, well, you definitely should check it out. So that is fully my feeling. And anyone who doesn't know this wonderful human that we fangirled all over during the show, listening to it back, so fangirling. You will 100% be a fan of hers if you did not know about her before. And so I love that Chris is on here too. Chris, we will definitely have you on. I think that we had just fairly recently had Tim and Jim on, and now that Jim and Chris are a pair,
yeah, I think there's a lot to learn there from Jim and Chris for sure. And it's like a thing that wasn't necessarily a thing about 18 months ago, like as big as it is now. So I think for sure it'd be amazing. A lot of learning opportunity, and that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to learn. We're here to we're here to impart learning upon our listeners. And after meeting Chris at Lima this summer, is it was really nice to have that encounter and to make some really fun memories and get to know him better. I had never met Chris before, so that was so cool.
Same. Yeah, it's amazing. The power of events, right? In the face-to-face.
Exactly.
All right, so this has been a long time. I haven't gone live without scheduling it and just popping in, and so I don't really know what to expect, but I definitely wanted to. Today is the first day of Women's History Month, and we are a rock star woman who had a rock star guest who we're going to tease it a little bit more. If you listen to it, you could just open Spotify now and see it, but what would the fun in that be?
Nothing. No fun.
All right. So, Chris, do you have a glass of something that you can share with us? Because rather than, okay, Tim, okay, link, go to my FB page. I am so out of practice for sharing. Like, how do you even?
I don't know. Like, I'm trying to find it too, so that I can share it onto mine. And I've been like back and forth between Powers of Marketing and Megan, and I'm like, where is the thing? I know it's on YouTube.
Nerd alert. This is not going on the podcast. So for anyone who's watching the replay or for Chris, this is totally impromptu and meant to stay that way. Okay, so it didn't go to my personal page. That is unfortunate. Well, I wonder, can you add destinations while you're on it?
It looks like you can, because I do have an add channels button up here, and I'm wondering, like, what happens if I push this button?
Do it. Do it. You should be able to add your personal page. That's what Chad did.
Oh, this is awesome.
Let's see. Yeah, because if we aren't in any of the destinations, then it's kind of, like we're just
floating in space, and then Chris just happened to find it.
Let's see. Yeah, okay. It didn't go to my business page either. That's funny. Okay, let's see.
I think things are about to get so much fun.
Two of us now, so if you're watching on the replay, share a file, choose source type, presentations, video storage. Okay, that's not. Let's see. Add source. Huh.
This is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and. Okay, so what you say the title of this episode is? Because it's having me like edit a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna say celebrating 100 episodes. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Episode 1. This is episode 100 with content marketing maven blank is what I titled the show. All right. So I just put the link to join us on air in that messenger exchange, because I don't see like how to add, since I'm running it. It's like I clicked add source, and then it's saying video storage, local video, share a file from your computer. Yeah, no.
I know, there's like a lot of like steps. We're learning as we go. It's fine.
Yeah, except I don't have the option. Settings, shortcuts. You have more friends than I do anyways. All right, y'all. Let's see if we're on Twitter. See if it went anywhere, because if it didn't,
where did it go? I know it went to YouTube because
just restarted. Right? So where did he find it? Now he's gone, so we don't even know.
I saw that he was on he was on YouTube with us. So went to your YouTube. We know that for sure. I'm gonna check my Facebook page real quick and double check. I think that I posted it to my personal, but then things got weird. So
okay, we are live on Twitter.
We're live on my Facebook page, on my personal. So yay. We'll see how that goes. Okay.
All right. This is funny. Okay. So Oh, and Marisa Kelly.
Yay. You know what's really funny, Megan? I mean, while we're kind of hanging out here, do you understand that today is the 2-year anniversary of the quadrennial,
Quadrennial, right?
ski ball tournament in at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego. Marissa, oh my god, and Marissa was one of our contenders.
Hello.
Which was really fun. Hi, Marissa.
She's got
Hello, ladies.
a drink with noisy ice. I love it.
I love that you're celebrating. Yay. Oh, because
Mardi
today's
Gras.
Fat Tuesday.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, well, it's a lot of things today.
That's a lot of things today.
Congratulations on 100 episodes.
Thank you,
ladies.
sweetie.
Is that what we're celebrating right now?
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, we are.
I mean, we can celebrate Mardi Gras too, and the start of Women's History Month, and all the things.
Right.
I need to send my message to him.
Yeah. I'm gonna like. I'm just
I
gonna
wasn't
get
supposed to say I was doing. But
right.
I'm
So
going
somebody's with us. Will you comment if you're? I would love to see who you are. Oh yeah, I can see now that Chris was on YouTube because that little icon is there. I'm curious though.
Yeah.
It didn't go edit destinations. It supposedly is on my Facebook, but it's
say hi to Marissa.
Your champagne mom.
You should come down and say hi to everyone.
Hi, Tim.
Marissa says hi. Megan's popping champagne.
Oh, perfect.
Come over
It's the
here and
best
say
sound
hi.
ever.
He's taking it away too, Philip Moore.
Jen has a butler. I don't have a butler.
Yeah. Megan says she doesn't have a butler.
We popping bottles. Yes, we are. Okay.
Popping bubbles.
Popping bubbles, bottles, and bubbles.
All right.
Okay, Marissa.
Yes.
Toast to us. Here's
Cheers.
to 100.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hi, Chris.
All right,
Chris
and I'm
is
gonna
here.
play. Yeah, I'm gonna play a little clip and see if y'all can tell who it is.
Oh gosh.
The biggest thing that I think I took away from that period. Now, of course, I have to do it much faster. We all have to do it much faster. And I think that's a good thing generally. But yeah, I think about just the ability to stop and pause and reflect on what does an audience need. We've sort of lost that. And I think it's incumbent on all of us as writers, as communicators, to make sure that we insert that step, because the world is moving faster and faster. The world is not going to insert that step for you like it did for me when I started my career. So now we have to insert that step. Wow.
No idea. Marissa, Chris, do you have a guess? All right.
Is she a marketer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does she have a first name with 3 letters?
Yes.
Okay. Does it start with the letter A?
Shush.
Okay. Oh, well, that was a really good guess. You know why? Because I got a clue yesterday from you, Megan.
About that she's tiny.
Yes.
Was that the
And I was
clue?
like,
She's
yeah.
massive. I said she's huge but tiny.
Big
Something
personality, small package or something. Yeah.
Oh
And I was
man.
like, who is this? I'm like, and then you play. I was like, okay, first, I don't even want to say who I was thinking because that's probably not a good thing. I'll send you guys a message. But yeah, that's
I
awesome.
wonder if who you were thinking, because I forgot that, like, I knew the answer to this. Like, I know who it is, but I was also like, this voice sounds a lot like a friend of ours. He also starts with an A
right.
with 3 letters. Marissa. So I wonder if we were on the same page until I remembered, oh, this contest isn't for me.
You were there.
I was there. Holy moly. It's been a long
Oh my
day,
gosh,
guys.
so funny.
I wonder if Chris has any guests. guesses.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and I mean, she's, in addition to being a marketer who, as I said to her on the show, not only talks the talk but walks the walk, she is like a keynote speaker and author and all the.
Yes, I think I know.
Marissa knows.
I think
I can
so.
tell, you know.
So Restream
Yeah,
doesn't want to connect to my Facebook, which totally
I feel
makes
like that's really rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Marissa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We'll share. I mean, we could just say it because, I mean, all the suspense. There's nobody here until like. Yeah. So we did get Anne Hanley as our 100th episode guest.
Yeah.
And it was such an interesting conversation because we had our questions and we got like so much more from her than I expected.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was really cool. Like and it's a lot longer than I think this will be our longest episode ever, maybe tie for top. Because Jen and I also did a little walk down memory lane that we dropped in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's a note for anybody who listens. They can just fast forward through that if they want to get right into the.
I don't know. There's some good meat in there. I feel like the memory lane that we did last is pretty freaking amazing.
Well, we are patting ourselves on the back about it's our guests that make the show for reals, and we will have you on, Marissa.
I'm good. I'm just like to.
Yeah. What would you want to talk about?
So many things. I think I would talk about something currently that I'm doing that I feel is really I think a lot of people struggle with. So I'm working with a startup. I was hired to kind of manage their social, but they're in the process of building the app. So there's a lot of customer discovery right now, kind of figuring out like, building an app can be quick or it can be like super involved. And it's all around like the soccer industry, and you ladies both know like I love soccer.
Yeah.
So, you can be very basic and like talk about soccer updates. And we were kind of struggling for a while, like what do we talk about on social when we don't have an app and we don't have customer stories and we don't have anything to really like work off of. We want to gain users. And so we developed this concept of talking to potential people that would adopt our app and really also doing two things, like storytelling of our ideal customers, but also doing some customers discovery at the same time. What things do we need to have in this app? And it's turned into, right now we have about 12 episodes. It's not launched yet. But that's like a YouTube channel, that's social media content, that's a podcast. There's all these things that, and we're not talking about ourselves like, hey, you should invest in us. We're not talking to VC firms. We're talking to the people that would potentially buy into the why this app is being developed. So
that's awesome. It sounds like you're building community.
Yeah. And it's like everyone's like waiting for it because we waited to, have 10 or 12 episodes before we launched it because we didn't want to get to the point where we were starving for content or like trying to get guests and stuff like that. And we're like, okay, we're going to do seasons, because I have to do other things in addition to social because I'm kind of startup life is kind of like that,
Yeah.
So but it's just interesting how you can join a team where they're like, let's go on social and let's post every day, and I'm like, no. Like, no.
If there's anything that
Yeah.
we've learned in our careers, it's don't post for the
Yeah.
sake of posting.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
I love
and
that
luckily,
you have sorry. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, I love that you have a batch. Like, and what I've been doing with this, I'm hosting a new podcast called Trade Show Talk, and
Mhm.
we're doing, basically, I'm ending up recording the second. We're doing 2 per month, and they're themed along the same theme each episode within the month. And I've recorded in each month. I've recorded the second one before that first one was published, and I really like it because it's on a similar topic too. It kind of helps frame the conversation that I'm having with the people on the next show, which this one we just go one off, publish one, with the exception of this one, which we recorded 2+ months early. Because or no, 7 weeks early, whatever. You do it when the
Something
guest.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's cool. Are you gonna wait until you have, how many are you gonna have ready to go before you launch?
We're working on the launch plan right now. We're supposed to launch on Thursday, but um, I want to build a little bit more excitement on, like, maybe the following Thursday, March 9th. Just because I want to post like a teaser. I want to create the social content, but there's when you work with all virtual startup team, sometimes that takes a little bit more, but like I'm super excited about it. Like I'm not on it. I'm mostly coordinating. I like do like 5 seconds in the beginning. So I'm the producer, which is where I thrive in, but I get to be part of these conversations and coordinate with the guests and stuff like that. And that's kind of how my role has been, just in general, in most soccer women in sports roles. Which, speaking of women in sports, I have to show you this new hoodie because I got it yesterday.
Nice.
It's Women in Sports Social Club,
That's amazing.
and I thought it's like that brand, like I think it's anti something social club or something. It's like that same font, but I thought that was
I love
pretty
that.
cool.
That is
Women in
really cool.
sports. Yeah, so I'm always behind the scenes, always making a move there. I'm not interested in being this like front face like type person, but people know who I am. So, and that's all that matters. So.
Producer is the most important person, and sometimes that is the person talking, but I think really high quality shows also have a very good producer on the other end. So
Agreed. Yeah.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Thank you for
Martha.
letting me share this. Like I feel like it's like the first time I've really like talked about it publicly outside of my soccer circle. So
And
hopefully
for those who were watching the replay, which is going to definitely be more people than watch just live at this point, it is on Jen's page, and I just shared it onto mine, and then I just messaged a couple people, so maybe we'll get a couple people. This was meant to be impromptu, low profile, but we definitely, Jen and I wanted to get together on this day.
On this day.
Yeah. How Marissa, how's Nashville treating you?
Really good. We went to celebrate Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, and it's a local restaurant that's like Cajun themed, so that was really nice.
Nice.
I love it here. It was super warm today too, 68 degrees.
Yeah.
I was like,
this
is San Diego weather. Like,
I know.
Like,
no, we got up to 74 in Wichita. Like, what?
No. I'm like, it's too early for this, but it's fine. I am adjusting with friendships. I don't know that many people here, but it happens. I have to form new friendships, which is fine. And I still try to work on my virtual friendships like you two and try to connect. I am going to Miss World, which is coming up.
Yep.
But I checked flights and it was
Yeah, it's
not
nuts.
feasible.
Oh yeah, Marissa and I had an entire text conversation about these flight prices. We're like,
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Not
I don't
this year.
understand what. The only thing I can think of, but it's the following weekend. So, you know, March Madness, the March Madness tournament is here, but not until the 18th and the 20th. So
Yeah.
it seems a little
That's
strange.
probably it.
Yeah.
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 For Tim and I talked it over too, and we're like, not the. It's well, for one, it's like 2 weeks out now, or what, a week and a half.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make. We talked about it on Friday. We're like, it doesn't make sense. Next year,
Yeah.
maybe next year, but definitely next year, but not this year.
Yeah. I will miss those who are coming, especially the ones from the UK, because I feel like they never come over here. So
Yeah.
It'll be
been a
pretty
long
sad, but
Marissa, what I say is that we can be present on Twitter. We can be present on Instagram. Like, we can be present. We've seen people be insanely present via Twitter and still like be memorable. So I feel like you and I can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
It can be our year to do that.
We can just invite people that are there, like set up a little quick live show, like come on, and like they'll be out at the rooftop, and
we're all pros at doing this at this point, you know. That's what the last 2 years have shown us, is we know how to do this. So we can be there too, but just in a different way. And it's okay.
I think it'll be.
Sorry about my dogs. They're playing underneath.
It's all good.
I'll I'll get you on FaceTime if I can. Right now, I only have plans on Sunday. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what's going to go on. Maybe I can get some. So I'm hosting trivia on Tuesday nights. I have 90 minutes until I have to be down at Ballast Point, Little William. That's where I'm hosting.
Oh, nice!
Yay!
You should get people to go there that or set up an event, and if they have the app, set up an event to.
No, but here's the funny thing: is I was gonna go look at the schedule to see what is going on at that time through that. But then I'm like, they use HubSpot, and I don't want them to chase me around the internet to try to get me, because I'm already getting enough email. Well, actually, finally, just because I'm not going, I can't go. I'm not I'm doing social media for this podcast, but it's not part of my work anymore. And so, it's just not something that I had the ability to invest time or money into. But like you say, it's the people.
And it's the people. Yeah. And we can sit here and do this,
Yeah.
We might not be able to do this, but we can definitely do this and this. So
yeah, well, you both will hopefully come out to Tennessee this year, and we will do all the things and see all the people. I still haven't seen Angus. Angus is out here, and he's
so busy. Yeah,
15 minutes from me, and
my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. That's like living in San Diego and like not going to SeaWorld or going to the zoo, because you're like, oh, it's right, it's here. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Well, same with you, Megan. I didn't hang out with you until we were I was leaving California. I really didn't see you until a couple months before I left. So.
Right. Yeah. Well, and that took Tony to bring us together.
Tony to come. Yeah, Tony's going. He'll be there.
Oh, Tony's going? Oh, I haven't talked to Tony in forever.
He told me a couple weeks ago when I was asking him. But I don't know if he's going to the conference or if he's just going to town.
Just going to hang. Yeah, that's kind of what I picture Tim and I doing next year, is going to hang.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot to the learning, but I feel like a lot of the learning we do outside of it anyway. For me, it's a lot more of the connections, networking, and making memories. So it might be. I was talking to Amy Tischler. was that your first guest? I was talking to Amy about this earlier today. It's about going and making memories, and I don't know, at this point, just kind of making it a vacation for me. Yeah, that's my view. Because it's already a tradition. We can keep doing the traditions and the learning. I feel like We do on the site anyway a lot of the time throughout the year. So
be the
Yeah.
first
And
time for 5 years of it. I wouldn't have gone to Lahaina this week and take with you and
oh.
I
I also think it's, the
That's
way
right.
the industry has evolved, like there's been certain niches that people have been able to like really hone in and like, specifically like I'll use Tony as an example. Like he does ads and like I don't really talk to him about ads. We've worked on a few small projects together, but like that's really where I'm going to meet someone in the industry that I know I can trust with a specific niche, or like for you, Megan, like event marketing or event style, social media, or like specific in that niche, or like you, Jen, like community building. Like I know that I can turn to these people, and it's not really me learning from the sessions, it's me building the relationships in the marketing industry where we're not managing all the things, but we're making those trusted relationships where we can collaborate on a project depending on where we are in our careers, if we're solopreneurs or wanting a side hustle or not, so.
yeah, for sure. We're going to let Jen needs to take a little break. So we're going to let Jen go and
Okay.
then you can keep talking since
I'll be
it's
right back.
Okay.
It's basically hanging out now. It's cool. Yeah, so I don't mean to put you on the spot, but have you listened to Making a Marketer?
Yes, I have.
And so do you have like a favorite guest or topic or anything that you can think of? It's okay if you
No,
can't.
I mean, I don't listen to it regularly, so full disclosure. I like you too. I like your vibe and your ability to start conversation between each other. So I think that's where, going back to the building relationships, like I know that if there's someone that I have not heard from, listen to a session, specifically maybe Anne Hanley, like I've heard her sessions before, but I haven't heard it in a while. So like I would listen to that one, or, someone that I have not seen before, I might listen in. But I like your guys is well, you guys are virtual, so it's really, I think it's to be able to do a good conversation virtually is a skill, because you're not picking up on like cues that where like they're moving their hands or like how they're answering things.
We
You have
record
to.
on video, so we can see each other. So
Mhm.
we do have that advantage. I appreciate
Right.
the compliment, but we do have that, and that's part of the reason why we do it on Zoom, even though audio purists, Zoom, like so many podcast pros, like whatever. But I really like being able to see, and I can tell, like, and we have this kind of like unspoken, if you've asked the question and you're like interacting with the guest and the other
Mhm.
co-host takes themselves off mute, then that's a sign that you have something to say, right? And you don't have to be like talking all over each other.
Right.
And so, yeah. Well,
Or you can like get situated, like, like you're ready to like say something, or like
right.
your eyes like change, right? And I think that's like a thing. And I think that goes along with refining your active listening skills, which I think a lot of marketers need to do in order to be really good, is like you ask them the question that tells a story or that explains certain things, that so that you can figure out like, okay, what is our marketing angle, versus like, is it this? And then they're like, yeah, it is. And you're like, no, you have to like tell me a story, right? And so those are things that I think good marketers can learn. And when it's in a virtual space where you're connecting with people that you don't get to meet in person, like at World or other conferences, like you have to be able to refine those skills.
Yeah, I think the feedback we get the most is that how much, like, well, first of all, how much easier it was than they expected. Like I think they feel we do like the, whatever, we don't do advanced show prep. We just do right before, with the guest anyway. Obviously we prepare. And then and then they just say, oh, that was so much fun. Like they always, that's what we hear the most at the end. Like they had more fun than they expected. And my goal for the show is to try and talk about things from maybe kind of like a different angle, or to try to get guests to maybe share things in a different way, or talk about things that they haven't talked about before, because anyone can ask the same 5 questions on,
Right.
you know, on every marketing podcast. And my hope always for our shows is that there's a different angle, or a different, like, they get something else out of our podcast than they would from another.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good goal. I mean, I feel I've heard many marketing podcasts, and it's like once you hear the same marketing spiel from the guest, it's kind of like, well, why do I have to tune into that? But if
Right.
you refine yourself as a good host and you're asking the questions that are different or are asked a different way that kind of provoke the conversation, then it makes it all the more better. So
Well, and I love that. Oh, that's a great question.
oh my
Yes.
God, I
Best part.
love when I hear that. Oh yeah, I do. So I do a local one here in town. It's called Locally Owned Murfreesboro, which is the town where I live, and it's all about locally owned business owners. But we don't go live. We don't do Zoom. It's like in a studio, and people are like, "Well, you're a live streamer." I'm like, "Or you've done live production. Why don't you do live?" I was like, "Because I get to sit there and like listen to someone and really connect with them."
Yeah.
And get like, and I don't have to like dress up. Like I know that it's not like I don't really care
Almost
about
like
that, but
Clubhouse.
like, but
Yeah.
if we're doing like multiple like recordings in one day, like I don't have to change my outfit. I don't have to worry about lighting. I just like I'm present, like Jen said, like present for those things that need to be said. And it's storytelling. Really, we're like provoking them to tell stories versus us telling other people about their business. Like they can kind of tell their story and have people get to know them. And that's really fun too. We're up, I think we're at like 6 or 7 episodes right now, but we have
Nice.
like 10 in the bank. So we're all the way in. Like if we stopped right now, we would release all the way till May. So I think that's like a cool thing, which is interesting for me because I'm not on live. I'm like just recording in the studio. So
Well, we do every other one on live, but yeah, I mean, we're like live on camera, like recording, but we haven't used our video at all. But one of my, and Jen, we didn't talk about this on our little walk down memory lane. One of my favorite episodes is we've only had 2 that we record in person. One was in Austin at Conversations, and that was a beautiful setting, super fun. It was on my birthday, but the quality of the audio was awful. But then Andrew and Pete came to town, and we recorded. This was
2020.
The last world, yeah. And we recorded in a podcast studio that was in Seaport Village.
Oh my gosh. It was so much fun.
That's awesome.
The funniest part about it, Pete goes, I saw his face when I started talking, and he goes, I like your podcast voice.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I have a podcast voice. He's like, I think because we were so close, I didn't want to project too much. Because I didn't want, whatever, they were professional. We had the whole deal, so it would have been fine. But I just kind of felt like I got a little subdued. They were just like, hey.
I mean, we all have our podcast voice, so.
I think your podcast voice is like the same voice that I use when I answer the phone at the office. I'm like, hello.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, I can pick up the kids.
Well, and I hear playbacks, and I'm like, oh, I went to I have a sign on and a sign off. It's like standard, and it's just what came naturally, and so I just like stuck with it. So I start hello is how I start, and then I say, and we will catch you next time at the end. But I listen back to some of these shows, and I'm like, hello, and I'm like, it's so stupidly.
not what you sound like, I
That's not-
promise.
No, but I've done that a couple times, so I think I'm conscious to not, because I heard that back and I was like, "Ugh."
It's interesting. You listen back. I mean, I know a lot of people that like record and they're just confident with the recording and then they don't listen back. And I don't know if it's
I'm producing it though. Like
yeah.
I am like, you know, telling the editor what I want cut. Like I don't have to tell him anymore, like start it here, end it here, cut out the ums or whatever. But there's definitely certain stuff that I have to say, like cut this out. It's very rare that I just send him an episode and don't give him any notes. But also we do our shows. We started doing this last season, I think. We have I have him do a couple of quote pullouts from like, and that's what you hear first, and then it goes into the intro. And so and sometimes he's even good about pulling those when I haven't done that myself too.
That's cool.
But
he's amazing. He's so
really
amazing.
He is really good. Thanks, Avery.
Yeah.
And I got him. He's now my editor on the other podcast that I'm hosting. But
Nice.
Jay Bear, the Convince and Convert, isn't that his?
Yep.
Yes.
Or no, that's the name of his company. But no, Social Pros is the name of the podcast. They do that, and I was like, ooh, I like that. So I stole that idea from him.
Yeah, especially if there's like a really good like soundbite or like a laughing moment. It's like I think people do that in video, you know, like their hook and then like they do the intro and then a whole episode. But I love that we're talking podcasting. I feel like I don't know, I feel like we've been doing it for years, but like it's still very, very new for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, oh, whatever. Everyone has a podcast, but like literally, like if you don't have a podcast, like what are you doing? Podcast or live show? Because you gotta be like doing something that's new.
Do you think that it was maybe like a resurgence stemming from like the birth of Clubhouse and all of that kind of stuff during the pandemic when we're like, oh wait, we can do this thing and we can build our, you know, our authority and our brand, but we don't have to get dressed or do our hair.
Yeah.
We can still do this, but we don't have to be like this.
Yeah. I think
we take a picture and we have to look presentable for our guests.
Yeah. But like that's I mean, I go to work every day now, and so I am wearing pants and shoes. But
I changed from my lounge pants into bike shorts.
Nice.
I'm still working from home. I literally just go from bed to the desk and make sure
I mean, I feel like in the beginning of the pandemic for the first 6-7 months, like everyone got overwhelmed because everyone was looking for a connection because it was like, there was nothing, like we couldn't go out. Like we were like
and we
scared
had just
to do
all
anything.
been together. For us, we had all just been together.
Right.
The week before that.
Doesn't it seem
Imagine
like 2 years ago?
It seems like ages.
I cannot believe that was 2 years ago. Like
I can't either. Luckily, I've seen each of you since then in different capacities. But
don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Up. It's already on Instagram.
Oh, that's okay.
Wait,
I know, but what'd you say, Megan?
I said, wait, what? I'm confused.
Oh, because like when I went to Wichita, like I had asked everyone not to say anything that I was going there because it was like middle of like pretty much before vaccines, like middle pandemic.
It was literally, I think 13 months ago, because wasn't it January of 2021?
End of January, early February. And
you were still living in San Diego. You hadn't moved yet.
Yeah, it was. Well, I was in that situation that, you know, Megan, I think I shared with you. Like I was in a position where I needed to leave and explore other areas to figure out where I was going to go next. And it was a matter of, it wasn't like, hey, I'm going to go. I mean, yes, of course I saw my friends and we had fun and we had drinks, but like, it wasn't a matter of like, hey, I'm just going to be like crazy, you know, but like in that moment, like there was a lot of backlash for people that were doing things that were deemed reckless or whatever. And so I was just like, can we not talk about it publicly? Because I just didn't want to. I didn't mean
for 8 weeks. Was that reckless?
What'd you say?
Croatia? That was not reckless.
For 8 weeks in October of 20.
No.
Was that reckless?
No, I felt like that was really good for your sanity, Megan.
Yeah. I'm totally not. I mean, it was a sanity move for me. Like I needed it. I needed to do it. I need to figure out if I was moving and it's all good. And if someone wants to say anything, good for them. Because I won't say anything back.
Well, the funny
you can say whatever
is,
you
like the Instagram posts were made back then. You know, like
I mean, if anyone has anything to say, like they would have said it privately and they haven't approached me. So let them. Okay.
No.
Cool.
They all trust us to be safe and be smart. Yeah. I think they
so
did that. And I think
water under the bridge at this point.
Yeah.
Right? It was
right.
We've had like variants since then. Like
it's so wild though, because like we're talking about like social media marketing world 2020. That was literally, can you imagine? That was like a lifetime ago. If you consider like all of the crazy events that have happened in the world and in our lives since then, that we're completely different people than we were the last time we all saw each other together.
True.
Well,
I think that's my cue.
All right.
I'm gonna go get a refill and finish celebrating.
Hang in the comments, girl.
Yeah,
thanks for
I'm gonna hashtag yes, daddy. That so.
Yes, daddy. Oh my God, that's the best story out of the pandemic ever. By the way, yes, daddy. I don't know if Megan knows that story.
I can't remember. It sounds like it might have been good conversation for our road trip, but I don't remember.
Yeah, we'll have to. It has to be audibly said. So why don't we just say it right now? No?
Yes, daddy.
So we were in it is. We were in Wichita, or I was in Wichita visiting all the Wichita people, pretty much everyone in Wichita. And we were heading out to dinner, and I guess the window was open and there was a car coming out of the parking garage, and we were going into the parking garage. I don't know what was going on, but the car coming out, they had their speaker on, and all you heard was, as they were driving by, "Yes, daddy."
Yes, daddy. And meanwhile, we didn't hear to dinner with Tim's family.
Oh,
and we were like, Marissa was our like honored guest.
Yeah.
It was.
We didn't hear what happened before. We didn't hear nothing. All we heard was like, you know, when people have their speakerphone on, like on their car, like all we heard in a parking garage. So it echoed, right? So it was like, "Yes, daddy." And so just like, all right, so we're gonna use that for the rest of the time. Yeah. And like Tim would be like, "Oh, do you want some water?" Or like, "Oh, do you want to order?" I'd be like, "Yes, daddy."
To this day.
Good sport. Yes, good sport. Good sport.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I love it.
And then I shared it with my friend who came with me from Wichita to Nashville. And she says it now. So it's like it's been like a snowball of a little story. So yes, daddy.
Well,
good
joining
times.
us, Marissa. Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Miss you, hon.
Love seeing your faces.
Love seeing yours too.
Virtual hugs. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Miss Jen. So let's take a picture.
Let's
Just-
take a
I'm gonna-
picture.
Screenshot it. You can do
Okay.
one else. I'm just going to screenshot it. Actually, let's do drinks up. Can I do this with one
Oh,
hand?
yeah.
I'll do the like the 3. All right. Well, it's always a good party, even if it's just you and me. So if you're
Always.
watching this on the replay, we hope you enjoyed our random conversation, but we just wanted to get together unofficially to celebrate 100 with our amazing guest, not with, because she obviously wasn't on, but just to share again, in case you missed it. Anne Hanley is our 100th episode guest, and it's such a wonderful conversation with her. So I hope everyone gives it a listen and shares the show. I mean, hopefully we've got good traction. I'm not concerned about like vanity numbers, but I really do want more people to hear it just for the mere fact that our guests are so amazing.
Our guests are so amazing, and that episode is just like, it literally changed like some of the ways that I'm thinking about. Like, she talked in the episode, obviously, is Anne Hanley. You teased the clip earlier where she's talking about writing, and there have been some of my writing habits that have changed in the amount of time that we have talked to Anne Hanley, and it's been amazing. And I, if it changed my habits and I was the one interviewing her, I can only imagine, what it can do for other people. And so it's truly an amazing episode. And okay, so you've hit it live, like it's live now. So like when we get off of here, we can just be like, listen to this, guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It was a weird time to publish. It was a weird time to do this live. Like, we never are live at this time. But
this is fantastic.
Let's give it a go.
Yes.
And we both have full-time jobs where we're like answering to other people now, which is a big shift from for me from the last 8.5 years. So I'm still going to keep it on with this, because this is, a passion project that I truly enjoy, and we just got to make some adjustments about when we record and how it all goes down. But
we'll just keep polishing the baby. We'll just keep polishing it.
Right. That's totally it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. That's a really good way to look at it. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for all of the episodes, for the friendship, for your partnership, and let's keep doing this thing.
Wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. Love you, lady.
I love you. All right, friends. I hope if you got this, if you watched the replay and you got this far, thank you extra. Congratulations. You must have been bored. No, I'm kidding. And this isn't going to go on the podcast. This is just
this is for fun.
Just a celebration and get together. So cheers to you. Cheers to me. And cheers to all that's yet to be. I just made that up. I'm a poet.
Well, you did a fantastic job.
All right, friends. This has been a random live stream talking about episode 100 and all that came before it. And we will catch you next time. Bye, y'all.